The last 24 hours has been interesting. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this time yesterday I was about to shoot a YouTube video. I was about to shoot a YouTube video. I had already done my makeup. I was dressed, and then I was trying to set up my phone to film, and then while checking some of the test shots, my phone fell and the screen broke, and yeah, the screen basically just went off. I couldn't see anything on it. It was blank. At some point there was a light streak that just passes through, but eventually it stopped. So yeah, that was it. I basically just went blank. I didn't even realize it was when this happened, and I started thinking about it. I would insert some clips now. I took some clips on my laptop immediately after this happened, just to, document. Okay, so please tell me why I get dressed, do my makeup for the first time in the longest time, just to shoot a YouTube video, and my phone falls and the screen just went off. It's not coming on. Please tell me why. So what am I supposed to do now? Just wash up the makeup, have my bath, and go to sleep. And I still have some work that I need to do. Now I can't do anything. How do I leave the house tomorrow when I'm supposed to book a cab to where I'm going to? And I'm supposed to even use my phone as hotspot when I get to the client's office. What am I supposed to do now? What? I don't know, just for some reason I'm not too sad. I'm not letting it get to me. When it fell and I picked it up and I saw the crack on the screen, I was like, oh, it's probably just the screen guard, and it had already cracked a lot. So I decided to peel it off. And as I was peeling it, I saw that actually my screen cracked. And then I just pressed the side button and I realized it wasn't coming on. It's the effort that I've already put into, like, because I was just testing the camera. I was testing to see if my lighting was fine, and I was about to shoot. I just took the camera out to look at the last test shot that I did, and it fell. Where am I supposed to get money to fix phone screen? All right. Okay, so after the clips, of course, washed off my makeup, and I tried to sleep, but I was just bothered because I was thinking about work and how nobody would be able to reach me, and I also would not be able to reach anybody. I also thought about going to Ikorodu, because my family are in Ikorodu. Going to Ikorodu, if I would be able to get a spare phone from my brother, or at least I'll be able to reach out to somebody at work. By the time I get there, I was going to do all of that. And so I slept late. I eventually I wasn't sad, I was just worried about like what today would be like, and how I just need to sort out things. I was supposed to go to a client's office, and I even contemplated going at a point, but when I realized I didn't have any phone, there was no way I was going to reach the clients. If anything happened on the road, there wasn't way I was going to reach anybody, and it was just too risky. So I decided, okay, I wasn't going to go. I was going to find a way to reach the client, to let them know that I wasn't going to be able to come to their office. And so, yeah, like I said, I slept late, and I slept late. So my alarm came on around 6 a.m. and I tried turning it off. Usually I would swipe off. I would swipe on the screen, maybe swipe to the right or left or whatever. I'll just swipe a particular part of my screen to turn it off. But because my phone screen was off, my phone was still on, but my phone screen was off. I couldn't see anything, and it just kept ringing. I think I pressed the power button a couple of times just to make it stop. Eventually it did. I can't remember if it did because I pressed the power button or because the alarm went off by itself. Okay, now I don't remember that part. Anyway, I went back to sleep for a few more minutes, so therefore for like another 30-45 minutes, so that I'll wake up around 6:45 or 7 a.m. and go about my day. And then I woke up to a very loud noise. Somebody was banging on my door. I jolted up basically. I went to the door, and then I found my neighbor trying to open. So there's a gate and then there's a door. I found my neighbor trying to open my gate. Yeah, and then I just greeted her and was like, okay, like, what's wrong? It's too early in the morning. Yeah, we didn't have any pending issue or any previous conversation anyway, so I didn't understand why she was banging, like literally banging my door. If I had fainted, I would have been jolted awake by the noise. And then she said that, oh, my cousin who stays with me called her, and that her egbon, if you're Yoruba, you don't know what egbon is, that egbon was on their way. I was like, egbon, like who? Because she's the firstborn, she doesn't have anybody that is older than her as a sibling. So just imagine me going to bed worried and then being jolted awake in the morning to a very loud noise. Being jolted awake in the morning to a very loud noise, and then being told that my cousin called her. She was worried anyway. I mean, I could see the worry in her face. She was worried that my cousin called her and that somebody was on their way. I was so confused. I mean, I slept late. I was just disoriented. Anyway, so I was just like, okay, thank you. And then I showed her my phone that, yeah, like whoever was trying to reach me couldn't reach me because my phone was off. And so I went back to bed, basically, because I think this even made it worse for me. I felt even worse than I did the first time I woke up to my alarm. And then like maybe 15 minutes after that, less than 30 minutes anyway, after that, I heard another banging, somebody else banging my door and trying to open my gate. That was like, what the hell is going on here? And then I heard my brother's voice. And it was at this point that it was okay. So I understood that, oh, my cousin meant that was the person that was coming. But I was like, why would she call my brother to like come over? And then by the time I would get to the door, I saw two other men with him. Yeah, a much older man was the one right behind him, and then there was somebody else behind that man. So of course I greeted them, and I was like, what's going on? And then I could hear my friend or one of my friends on my brother's phone, and I could hear another of my friend on the other man's phone, the other man who ended up being the DPO of the police station in my area. I was confused. Backstory. I think 2 years ago, after my accident, I set SOS contact on my phone. Yeah. So apparently, I'd never even tested it. I remember when I set it, it was in the middle of the night, and I wanted to test it, but I thought there was no point testing it in the middle of the night, and I was going to test it the next day or something like that. So I would tell the people that I had made my SOS contact that I had made them my SOS contact, and then I'll test it so that they know what it looks like. If there's any reason for me to use it, right? So, but I never got to do it. So fast forward to 2 years later, you can imagine how right now as I'm filming this, I don't even remember. I know that it has to do with pressing the power button, but I don't know if it is twice or 3 times or something. I'll check and fill you in before the end of the video. So I had even forgotten how I set it up. I had to Google it. So I'm just here trying to navigate to my settings, and then I'm going to click on advanced features, where I'm able to enable send SOS messages. And of course, I set mine as 3 times. So press my side key 3 times, and SOS messages will be sent to the contacts that I indicated here. So apparently, that was what happened. My phone sent out SOS to my contact, to my, yeah, those contacts that I had set up. And I think it said something about I need help or SOS, and it had a link, which of course pinpointed my location. They all got the SOS messages. So my friend on my brother's phone tried to reach my brother, called my another friend of mine who was the one that then reached out to the police officers who then came to my house. The good thing with this is I know that the SOS works, and I feel so loved the way everybody came around, even though I feel very bad because it was kind of like a false alarm and I didn't even know what was happening. And throughout the day I felt very guilty. I mean, I know I didn't do it on purpose, but I hated that I put my loved ones in that kind of emotional state, that kind of state. I can't imagine the kind of things that would have gone through their mind. If I were in their shoes, I would have thought of too many things, right? But yeah, so my friend that was on my brother's phone said she didn't want to call me, so she didn't try to call me because she wasn't sure. So she was like, okay, if I had been kidnapped, she wasn't sure if I was pressing the phone in a corner and they didn't know when I sent that message. So she didn't want to alert them to the fact that I had my phone with me. She just wasn't going to, she didn't want to reach out to me. She just wanted somebody to come and try and find me, especially because there was a link with the location, with my location, and it didn't change. It was the same. What's it called? So apparently, I think the way it also works is that if my location changed, it will keep sending the message. But anyway, that didn't happen. Yeah, so they came to my house. So that way, because my brother came, I was able to call my client. So I think I signed into my Gmail or my Google account because I have all my contacts on my Google account. I signed into my Google account on his phone, on his tab. So I was able to send a message to my client. I wasn't going to be able to come to their office. I was also able to send a message to my colleagues to tell them what happened, that my phone had gone off. My phone fell, it had gone off, and there was no way I was going to be able to reach them, and I had to get it fixed. And I remember that when my brother and I used exactly the same phone, and there was a time his screen also broke or something like that, and he had to fix it. And it took, when he went there, they told him to come back after maybe 3 days or something like that. But I was like, no, I need to get my phone fixed today, and it has to be fixed today. Because when I started analyzing the things that I use my phone for, it's practically my office. I can't reach anyone. I don't have a spare phone. Nobody can reach me. It was like I was on an island with nobody else. I was alone. It felt terrible. You know this, this Airtel, the current Airtel advert where that lady wakes up in the morning, her husband couldn't hear, like everybody she was speaking to couldn't hear her and they couldn't see her. That was how I felt. The only difference was here, I couldn't hear anybody and nobody could hear me. Yeah, incommunicado. It was terrible. So like I said, because my brother came around, I was able to reach out to some people to just let them know. I think I also set my out of office so that if I get any email from clients, they would know that I wasn't available to respond to the email. And yeah, I mean, that was sorted. So at least I knew that there was something in place for people to know that I wasn't available, and they wouldn't be worried that I wasn't responding to their email, and or they couldn't reach me over the phone. So of course I then had to find, like I mentioned, when my brother had to fix his own screen, it took him about 2 to 3 days, right? And so I went on a mission to find who would be able to fix my screen for me. I called one of my colleagues whose brother I think works there, or at least he has Connect in Computer Village, and so he said he was going to get back to me to let me know where I could fix my screen. And then I also remember that my cousin fixed her screen like last week or 2 weeks ago, so I tried to reach her also. I called her on my brother's phone to ask her where she did it and if she actually has a connect that could help. So she sent me she sent me that person's phone number, and then I was also waiting for my colleague to get back to me, but she sent the phone number first. So I called the guy, and he said, of course, that he could fix it. I asked him how much. He told me, and I had to spend money that I did not plan for, money that I actually didn't have. Oh, that stressed me, big time stressed me. By the way, who else, how do I put this now? Who else gives themselves a treat after they spent too much money? So it's like, to console myself, I had to treat myself, but of course that also meant spending more money, which might not make sense or might seem like it doesn't make sense, but I actually feel better. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I called the guy, and he told me how much it would cost. I asked him how to get to his office. He described it, and then off I went. I couldn't find BRT. It was just the normal commute in Lagos, so I had to take a bike, then take a bus, then I got a BRT. I eventually got to the guy's office, and of course showed him the phone. He said he could do it. I asked how long it would take. He said about 30 to 45 minutes. So I was happy that, oh, at least I'm able to get back home to do my work for the day. Guys, I was there for over 6 hours. I didn't leave until like 3:30. I didn't leave until, they didn't finish until like 4:30. And then I had to get a screen guard, and then they had to look for, it was just crazy. But they were very hospitable, very, very hospitable. They kept checking on me to be sure I was fine. They even gave me smoothie, guys. They bought me cold smoothie, which was really, I didn't want to take it at first because I wasn't sure if it would upset my stomach. But I did eventually, because I mean, I was there for longer than I thought I was going to be, and I didn't want to eat any food. So took the smoothie, it was cold. The bench I sat on was very uncomfortable. I mean, it wasn't made for you to sit there for too long. But yeah, apart from the fact that I had to wait for my phone to be fixed, they really were very hospitable. I mean, I probably have only gone to Computer Village 3 or 4 times, but yeah, if anything happens to my phone, or if there's any reason for me to recommend somebody, I will recommend that guy. Of course, I'm filming on my phone now. My phone is back. I used to film on my back camera, but I think I'll be filming on my front camera now. So I'll see how this quality turns out. If it turns out really good, then I'm going to be filming with my front camera, because it was because I was filming with my back camera. I was trying to take it out so that I can see what the video looked like. If the lighting was really good, that was when my phone fell. So we're not doing that again. Okay, if this quality is good, I'm going to stick with this till I'm able to get a camera to film with. So yeah, that's it. My family and friends thought I was kidnapped, but thankfully I was not. I'm fine. If you tried to reach me and you couldn't, now you know why. Now you know why. Because I'm not going to be able to explain all of this to people. I'll just be like, okay, I'm back. But yeah, if you tried to reach me and you couldn't reach me, now you know why. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Bye guys.